Welcome to ADCO Aviation. On the 37th video, we found out I have a 37 horsepower engine and we installed the ailerons. Also, I asked y'all to help me come up with a name for my ultralight vehicle. I still haven't pulled her out to work on the rear struts, so today I wanted to show y'all the throttle I came up with. There's a few measurements that Leonard doesn't show on the plans here, and to some degree, you'll need to modify them for your engine and throttle linkage anyways. So with that being said, make sure you test your system whichever way you decide to build. Some of you may remember, instead of having the throttle on the side of station number 2, I chose to move it to the horizontal bar of station number 2. I was afraid, not being too flexible, I'd bump the throttle trying to get in after hand propping. Other than location, I tried to resemble Leonard's design as much as possible. Instead of the D-shaped bracket he called for, that is bolted to station number 2, I welded a brace / bracket to the upper diagonal. I drew in red where one could easily remove some of the weight. However, this piece weighs hardly anything anyways. I made the arm to plans, but added a little kick. This helps the cable pull straight and smooth. The swiveling bracket barely has to swivel as it is now, but we'll come back to that. Again, as the plans call for, I made a second piece of flat steel as the other half of the cable holder, and I cut a leather washer from the end of an old belt that I had cut off. I then made the swivel holder that holds the cable housing. Took another piece of flat steel, drilled out the proper size hole for the housing in. On my throttle linkage, it was 1/4 inch. I then cut a slot for the cable to slide through. I bent the steel 90 degrees and drilled out another 5/16 inch hole for the aluminum collar to act as a swivel. I cut the collar just a smidgen longer than the thickness of the steel. With the arm all the way to the left, the cables are all the way in and the carbs will be at idle. I located where the 3/16 inch hole needed to be on the base for the swivel bracket. Then I just assembled and tested. Works like Leonard designed it. Next, I needed to put a handle on it. I had thought about shaping wooden wheels like the plans show, but laying in bed one night, I had a thought. The very first Legal Eagle I saw was putt-putt at Reclaw. Even though I've never been on a golf course, other than putt-putt golf courses as a youngin', I thought it'd be kind of cool to honor the iconic putt-putt and create a golf ball knob. I decided once again to try something new. I downloaded AutoCAD and tried to figure out how I could make this happen. First, I made 2 halves of the golf ball. Quote unquote, drilled a hole in each half. A countersunk one for the socket head to go in from the top, and a hex hole for the nut to go in on the bottom, and countersunk a slot for the handle. I was happy I was able to figure out AutoCAD and the Bamboo software to make the golf ball knob. Of course, as I'm looking at it, I think, you can do better than that. So I figured out how to slice a slot partially the way through the side and drilled from the bottom a threaded countersunk hole for a socket head bolt. And of course I had to make it look realistic. So I looked up different brands and ran across this design and thought, since I was building a flying vehicle, the Legal Eagle XL, a Top Flight XL would be the perfect design. And since this is the first plane I built, voila. I printed the decals out and put it on my 3D printed golf ball, just like we did on model airplanes growing up. I then put a coat of clear over the whole ball, and I really like the looks of my throttle knob. Who knows what else I may come up with to 3D print. I'm thinking of trying vortex generators someday, so we'll see. Oh, by the way, quickly, for those that are wondering about folding the wings without folding the tail, I measured 96 inches to the top of the wingtip as the wing cleared the tail wires. So if you're not trying to trailer it, this would be a faster option to pull it from the hanger, unfold, and go. Once again, for those of you that are still watching, if you can come up with a really cool name for her, put your name suggestions in the comments below. I can't wait to see what y'all suggest. I hope y'all have enjoyed this video and hopefully found some of the info helpful for your build. And if you're on the fence about starting a Legal Eagle build, hopefully I've shown you just how easy it can be. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe to my YouTube, Odyssey, or Rumble channels. Thank you, and be safe.